In the beginning, God made the heaven and the earth. Yet the earth was invisible and unformed, and darkness was over the abyss, and a divine wind was being carried along over the water. And God said, "Let light come into being." And light came into being. And God saw the light, that it was good. And God separated between the light and between the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And it came to be evening, and it came to be morning, day one. And God said, "Let a firmament come into being in the midst of the water, and let it be a separator between water and water." And it became so. And God made the firmament, and God separated between the water that was under the firmament, and between the water that was above the firmament. And God called the firmament sky, and God saw that it was good. And it came to be evening, and it came to be morning, a second day. And God said, "Let the water that is under the sky be gathered into one gathering, and let the dry land appear." And it became so. And the water that was under the sky was gathered into their gatherings, and the dry land appeared. And God called the dry land earth, and the systems of the waters he called seas. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let the earth put forth pasture land vegetation, seed propagating according to kind, and according to likeness, and fruit-bearing tree, producing fruit, of which the seed is in it according to kind on the earth." And it became so. And the earth brought forth pasture land vegetation, seed propagating according to kind and according to likeness, and fruit-bearing tree producing fruit, of which the seed is in it according to kind, on the earth. And God saw that it was good. And it came to be evening, and it came to be morning, a third day. And God said, "Let luminaries come into being in the firmament of the sky, for illumination on the earth, to separate between the day and between the night. And let them be for signs and for seasons, and for days and for years. And let them be for illumination in the firmament of the sky, so as to give light upon the earth." And it became so. And God made the two great luminaries, the great luminary for rulership of the day, and the lesser luminary for rulership of the night, and the stars. And God set them in the firmament of the sky, so as to give light upon the earth, and to rule the day and the night, and to separate between the light and between the darkness. And God saw that it was good. And it came to be evening, and it came to be morning, a fourth day. And God said, "Let the waters bring forth creeping things among living creatures, and birds flying on the earth against the firmament of the sky." And it became so. And God made the great sea monsters and every creature among creeping animals, which the waters brought forth according to their kinds, and every winged bird according to kind. And God saw that they were good. And God blessed them, saying, "Increase and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let birds multiply on the earth." And it came to be evening, and it came to be morning, a fifth day. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth the living creature according to kind, quadrupeds and creeping things, and wild animals of the earth according to kind." And it became so. And God made the wild animals of the earth according to kind, and the cattle according to kind, and all the creeping things of the earth according to their kind. And God saw that they were good. Then God said, "Let us make humankind according to our image, and according to likeness, and let them rule the fish of the sea, and the birds of the sky, and the cattle and all the earth, and all the creeping things that creep upon the earth." And God made mankind. According to divine image he made him. Male and female he made them. And God blessed them, saying, "Increase and multiply, and fill the earth, and subdue it, and rule the fish of the sea, and the birds of the sky, and all the cattle and all the earth, and all the creeping things that creep upon the earth." And God said, "See, I have given to you all sowable herbage, propagating seed that is atop the whole earth, and every tree that has in itself fruit of sowable seed. You shall have it for food, and to all the wild animals of the earth, and to all the birds of the sky, and to every creeping thing that creeps on the earth, that has in itself the animating force of life, even all green herbage for food." And it became so. And God saw all the things that he had made, and see, they were exceedingly good. And it came to be evening, and it came to be morning, a sixth day. And the heaven and the earth were finished, and all their arrangement. And on the sixth day God finished his works that he had made. And he left off on the seventh day from all his works that he had made. And God blessed the seventh day and hallowed it, because on it he left off from all his works that God had begun to make. This is the book of the origin of heaven and earth, when it originated, on the day that God made the heaven and the earth, and all verdure of the field before it came up to be upon the earth, and all herbage of the field before it sprang up. For God had not sent rain upon the earth, and there was not a human to till the earth. Yet a spring would rise from the earth, and water the whole face of the earth. And God formed man, dust from the earth, and breathed into his face a breath of life, and the man became a living being. And the Lord God planted an orchard in Eden, toward the east, and there he put the man whom he had formed. And out of the earth God furthermore made to grow every tree that is beautiful to the sight and good for food, the tree of life also in the orchard's midst, and the tree for knowing what is knowable of good and evil. Now a river goes out of Eden to water the orchard. From there it divides into 4 sources. The name of the one is Pishon. It is the one that encircles the whole land of Hoyhalat, there where the gold is. Now the gold of that land is good, and carbuncle and light green stone are there. And the second river's name is Gihon. It is the one that encircles the whole land of Ethiopia. And the third river is the Tigris. It is the one that goes over against the Assyrians. As for the fourth river, it is the Euphrates. And the Lord God took the man whom he had formed and put him in the orchard to till and keep it. And the Lord God commanded Adam, saying, You shall eat for food of every tree that is in the orchard, but of the tree for knowing good and evil, of it you shall not eat. On the day that you eat of it, you shall die by death. Then the Lord God said, It is not good that the man is alone. Let us make for him a helper corresponding to him. And out of the earth God furthermore formed all the animals of the field, and all the birds of the sky, and brought them to Adam, to see what he would call them. And anything, whatever Adam called it as living creature, this was its name. And Adam gave names to all the cattle, and to all the birds of the sky, and to all the animals of the field. But for Adam there was not found a helper like him. And God cast a trance upon Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs and filled up flesh in its place. And the rib that he had taken from Adam the Lord God fashioned into a woman, and brought her to Adam. And Adam said, This now is bone of my bones, and flesh of my flesh. This one shall be called woman, for out of her husband she was taken. Therefore a man will leave his father and mother, and will be joined to his wife, and the two will become one flesh. And the two were naked, both Adam and his wife, and were not ashamed. Now the snake was the most sagacious of all the wild animals that were upon the earth, which the Lord God had made. And the snake said to the woman, Why is it that God said, You shall not eat from any tree that is in the orchard? And the woman said to the snake, We shall eat of the fruit of the tree of the orchard, but of the fruit of the tree that is in the middle of the orchard, God said, You shall not eat of it, nor shall you even touch it, lest you die. And the snake said to the woman, You will not die by death, for God knew that on the day you eat of it, your eyes would be opened, and you would be like gods, knowing good and evil. And the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasing for the eyes to look at, and it was beautiful to contemplate. And when she had taken of its fruit she ate, and she also gave some to her husband with her, and they ate. And the eyes of the two were opened, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together, and made loincloths for themselves. And they heard the sound of the Lord God walking about in the orchard in the evening. And both Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God, in the midst of the timber of the orchard. And the Lord God called Adam and said to him, Adam, where are you? And he said to him, I heard the sound of you walking about in the orchard, and I was afraid, because I am naked, and I hid myself. And he said to him, Who told you that you are naked? unless you have eaten from the tree of which I commanded you, of this one alone, not to eat from it. And Adam said, The woman whom you gave to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I ate. And God said to the woman, What is this you have done? And the woman said, The snake tricked me, and I ate. And the Lord God said to the snake, Because you have done this, cursed are you from all the domestic animals, and from all the wild animals of the earth. Upon your chest and belly you shall go, and earth you shall eat, all the days of your life. And I will put enmity between you and between the woman, and between your offspring and between her offspring. He will watch your head, and you will watch his heel. And to the woman he said, I will increasingly increase your pains and your groaning. With pains you will bring forth children, and your recourse will be to your husband, and he will dominate you. Then to Adam he said, Because you have listened to the voice of your wife, and have eaten from the tree, of which I commanded you, of this one alone not to eat from it. Cursed is the earth in your labors, with pains you will eat it all the days of your life. Thorns and thistles it shall cause to grow up for you, and you will eat the herbage of the field. By the sweat of your face you will eat bread, until you return to the earth, from which you were taken. For you are earth, and to earth you will depart. And Adam called the name of his wife Life, because she is the mother of all the living. And the Lord God made leather tunics for Adam and for his wife, and clothed them. Then God said, See, Adam has become like one of us, knowing good and evil. And now perhaps he might reach out his hand, and take of the tree of life and eat, and he will live forever. And the Lord God sent him forth from the orchard of delight, to till the earth from which he was taken. And he drove Adam out, and caused him to dwell opposite the orchard of delight. And he stationed the cherubim and the flaming sword that turns, to guard the way of the tree of life. Now Adam knew his wife Eve, and after she had conceived she bore Cain, and said, I have acquired a man through God. And she proceeded to bear his brother Abel, and Abel became a herder of sheep, but Cain was tilling the earth. And it came about after some days, that Cain brought to the Lord an offering of the fruits of the earth. And Abel he also brought of the firstlings of his sheep, and of their fat portions. And God looked upon Abel and upon his gifts, but on Cain and on his offerings he was not intent. And it distressed Cain exceedingly, and he collapsed in countenance. And the Lord God said to Cain, Why have you become deeply grieved, and why has your countenance collapsed? If you offer correctly, but do not divide correctly, have you not sinned? Be still, his recourse is to you, and you will rule over him. And Cain said to his brother Abel, Let us go through into the plain. And it came about, when they were in the plain, that then Cain rose up against his brother Abel and killed him. And God said to Cain, Where is your brother Abel? And he said, I do not know. Surely I am not my brother's keeper. And God said, What have you done? The voice of your brother's blood is crying out to me from the earth. And now you are cursed from the earth, which has opened wide its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. For you will till the earth, and it will not continue to yield its strength to you. You will be groaning and trembling on the earth. And Cain said to the Lord, My guilt is too great for me to be forgiven. If today you are driving me out from off the earth, and I shall be hidden from your face, then I shall be groaning and trembling on the earth, and it will be that anyone who finds me will kill me. And the Lord God said to him, Not so. Anyone who kills Cain will let loose 7 acts of vengeance. And the Lord God allocated a sign to Cain, so that no one who found him would do away with him. Then Cain went away from the presence of God, and lived in the land of Nod, over against Eden. And Cain knew his wife, and after she had conceived she bore Enoch. And he was building a city, and named the city after the name of his son Enoch. Then to Enoch was born Gaidad, and Gaidad was the father of Maael, and Maael the father of Methuselah, and Methuselah the father of Lamech. And Lamech took for himself 2 wives. The name of the one was Adah, and the name of the second was Salah. And Adah bore Eobel. He was the ancestor of cattle raisers living in tents. And his brother's name was Eobal. He was the one who introduced the harp and lyre. As for Selah, she also bore Tobel, and he was a smith, a forger of bronze and iron. And the sister of Tobel was Nomah. Now Lamech said to his own wives, Adah and Selah, hear my voice. You wives of Lamech, listen to my words. Because I have killed a man for a wound to me, and a young man for a welt to me. Because 7 times vengeance has been exacted by Cain, but by Lamech 70 times 7. Now Adam knew his wife Eve, and after she had conceived she bore a son and named his name Seth, saying, For God has raised up for me another offspring instead of Abel, whom Cain killed. And to Seth a son was born, and he named his name Enosh. He hoped to invoke the name of the Lord God.